A lot of what Asbestos and other companies do is try to split hairs over what was knowable, and they'll try to draw distinctions that are completely meaningless. And that's something you'll see later on the asbestos companies did. They tried to play a game. Well, just because our miners got sick, we wouldn't have known that the people who made the products from the mine would get sick. And then they'll play a step further. Okay, now we know our factory workers are getting sick from breathing the dust from the products they're making. But we had no way of knowing that people who work with the products would also get sick with it. The guy that mined it got sick from it, and the guy that made the product got sick from it. But how would we know that the consumers could get sick from it? That's what they do, is they play the game. This wasn't knowable. And it all comes down to exercise of reasonable care, what you either knew or should have known. And it's that doubt element again. They're trying to introduce doubt on what they should have known. This concept, the concept of whether in the exercise of reasonable care, he should have had that knowledge. This is a foundational concept of our whole injury law. And let me give you an example to kind of show you how this works. If you drive a car, you have a duty to make sure that your car is safe. So that means if you know that, for example, your brakes don't work and your tires are bald, and you get in an accident because your brakes don't work and your tires are bald, you'll be at fault for that. You should have known this was dangerous. You don't get to say, I'm not a mechanic. I don't know how to check my brakes. I'm not a tire expert. I don't know if they're bald. You are presumed that you should know these things. You should know that if you can put a penny in the tread of your tire and it doesn't cover Abe Lincoln's head, your tires are bald. You should know if when you're driving, your brakes are squealing, that's an indicator that they're on the way out. So this is the key, is how do you avoid knowing? For industry, it's key. What are the squealing noises that tell you there's a danger? Like when your brakes are about shot, they squeal really bad. What are those squealing noises for the asbestos industry? Because that will tell them the brakes are bad. They don't want that kind of knowledge because then they have to make changes. If your car is making really weird noises, some of you might decide, you know what, I'm going to just turn the radio up because I can't afford to deal with this issue. That's what the asbestos companies were trying to do, is just turn the radio up and ignore it until they had the resources to fix the issue. But if that noise you're ignoring happens to be a safety defect in the car and you get in an accident because of that defect, you'll be held liable if anyone finds out you just turned the radio up because you didn't want to dig. They're trying to avoid any flags from getting raised that would say a reasonable person here would dig.